For years, loyalty programs were treated like a requirement. If you wanted a customer, then you had to give something away: points, rewards, punch cards, apps. Loyalty programs focused on buying the customer's loyalty in exchange for something else. But lately, a lot of restaurants are quietly starting to push back or dropping these loyalty programs altogether, not because they stopped mattering, but because loyalty programs stopped making sense, both financially and psychologically. In today's video, I want to explain why loyalty programs have fallen out of favor with restaurant owners, how rising food prices and the work from home trend have really changed the economics behind them, and what actually matters now when it comes to creating repeat diners who keep coming back to your restaurant. Let's get into the video. Now, don't get me wrong, there was a time when loyalty programs made a lot of sense. And loyalty programs gained a lot of popularity for a reason. They were easy to understand, they were easy to explain to customers, and for a long time, they were fairly inexpensive to run. The margins were healthier, food costs were a lot more predictable. Giving something away occasionally didn't really feel risky. It didn't feel dangerous. Programs that focused on loyalty felt like a simple, inexpensive way to encourage repeat visits to restaurants. And in a lot of cases, they worked. Today, however, the math behind food has changed significantly. Food costs are higher, labor costs are higher. Everything just costs more today. Rewards now cut directly into already tight profit margins. A free item, it's not cheap anymore. A discount isn't harmless. And earning points, well, that starts to feel like giving money away from your business. And for a lot of restaurants, loyalty programs quietly shifted from being a retention tool to now a cost center. Now, most restaurants, they didn't make a big announcement regarding this shift. They just reduced rewards. They made the programs harder to use. They stopped promoting them actively in their advertising and marketing. Or a lot of restaurants just shut them down completely. And this trend isn't just in restaurants, it's also in retail chains, in stores. You'll notice that the promotions that the stores are giving just feel a little bit different. They're a lot more reserved than they used to be in years past. And this trend is happening not because they don't care about repeat diners, but because the economics just does not support the system anymore. Now, at the same time that the economics were changing, something else changed. Before the pandemic, repeat dining was a lot easier. See, the office routines, they created habits. Teams used to order lunch together. So, for example, maybe on a Wednesday or a Friday or payday, a group of people in the office would say, "Hey, let's order from X restaurant. I'll put in a group order. You guys tell me what you want." That trend created predictable revenue streams for that restaurant. They could count on that large order every week or every 2 weeks or whatever the cycle was. And people just rotated through the same nearby restaurants without even really thinking about it. Proximity allowed this routine to really happen. And those routines did a lot of the heavy lifting, a lot of the hard work that loyalty programs were trying to reinforce. And when work from home came along, it really broke that. It really changed that particular pattern. Now, of course, after the pandemic, these shared types of office ordering patterns, they disappeared. Geographic proximity to the office, it was irrelevant. And every meal became an individual choice instead of a group activity. People became a lot more cautious with their spending. They became more selective. They became less experimental. And loyalty programs were designed for routines, not for fragmented decision making. They don't work well in that type of environment. And once these office routines disappeared, programs struggled to do their job. Now, here's the kicker. Here's why loyalty programs now feel a lot less effective. See, without a routine backing the loyalty program, rewards don't trigger behavior by themselves. Points don't really feel motivating to diners anymore. Apps don't create habits like they used to. And the problems are not the tools themselves, the environments that made those tools effective doesn't exist anymore. It's now gone or dramatically reduced depending on the area. So, what does this mean for local restaurants? Well, when loyalty programs fade, a lot of restaurants ask the wrong question. What should we replace this particular loyalty program with? Another system, another incentive, another program usually tries to fill that void. But repeat dining is not created by tools, it's created by how safe and how comfortable the decision feels. Again, in the office environment, it felt like a very safe decision because everybody was ordering from the same place. Everybody had a similar shared experience. So, what actually creates repeat diners now? Well, repeat diners return to the same restaurants because the experience feels predictable, the outcome feels reliable, the decision to eat there feels like it's easy to make, and the restaurant feels familiar. They come back because leaving feels riskier than staying. Trying something new carries a lot more mental risk than going with something that's familiar and comfortable. And the truth is, that's not really loyalty at its core. That's really just confidence in the restaurant. So let's talk a little bit about experience and why it matters now more than ever. See, experience doesn't always mean luxury, it means consistency, it means clarity, it means comfort, it means trust. When customers know exactly what they should expect out of your restaurant, they stop questioning the decision. That's what creates repeat behavior, not points, not apps. Because remember, having good food is assumed, it's a given. It's just not enough anymore, especially if the experience does not stick in the minds of your diners. And this is why visibility is so important. Visibility matters even without loyalty programs. See, loyalty programs used to act as reminders, and without them, restaurants have to stay top of mind in other ways. Presence matters, consistency matters, being remembered matters. If customers don't think of you, they won't return, no matter how good the last visit was. So here's the core truth: loyalty did not disappear, but the shortcuts that restaurants used to depend on to create loyalty, those did disappear. Repeat diners, they still exist. They just return for different reasons now. And the restaurants that understand this don't chase points, they don't chase perks. They focus on being the easiest, safest choice. Dine with them again. So loyalty programs, they didn't fail, but the environment that supported them changed. And a lot of restaurant owners really don't take that into consideration when they are trying to get the loyalty of repeat diners in their restaurant. Restaurants that adapt to how decisions are made now, well, those are going to be the ones who keep repeat diners even without rewards. In the post pandemic economy, it's important to remember that just having good food isn't good enough anymore. And if no one walks in the front door of your restaurant, then nothing else matters. I'm Donovan Garrett. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.